The phone's glow illuminated Maria's tear-stained face at 11:47 p.m. as she stared at her crying infant son Miguel. Her hands trembled while typing a message she never thought she'd have to send. The formula container sat empty on the counter, mocking her desperation. She had exactly $3.12 in her account until Friday, 3 days away, and her baby was hungry now. Swallowing her pride, she scrolled through her contacts, searching for her friend Sarah's number, someone who'd helped her before. Through blurred vision, she typed, "Sarah, I know it's late and I hate asking, but Miguel is out of formula. Could you possibly lend me $50 until Friday? I'm so sorry. I'll pay you back, I promise." She hit send and collapsed onto the worn couch, her body shaking with silent sobs. This wasn't how life was supposed to turn out. 6 months ago, she'd had a decent job, a supportive partner, and hope. Now, at 23, she was alone in a cramped apartment, working 2 part-time jobs that barely covered rent, abandoned by Miguel's father, who disappeared the moment he saw the positive pregnancy test. Her mother lived across the country, struggling with her own medical bills. Maria had never felt more alone. The phone buzzed. That was fast, she thought, wiping her eyes. But the response made her blood run cold. "This isn't Sarah. I think you have the wrong number. But I'd like to help. How soon do you need it?" Maria's heart sank into her stomach. Oh God. Wrong number. She texted a complete stranger begging for money like some kind of scammer. Her fingers flew across the screen. "I'm so sorry. I meant to text my friend Sarah. Please ignore that. I'm mortified." Another buzz. "Don't be. These things happen. But I'm serious about helping. I'm assuming this is urgent?" Maria stared at the message, her mind racing. This had to be some kind of joke. Or worse, a creep taking advantage of a vulnerable situation. But something about the straightforward tone felt genuine. Against her. "Better judgment," she replied. "It's my baby. He needs formula. But really, I can't accept money from a stranger. Thank you anyway. I understand your hesitation. My name is James. I'm not a stranger trying to take advantage. I'm just someone who can help and wants to. Where can I send the money? Venmo? PayPal?" Maria's logical mind screamed at her to block the number. Her desperate heart whispered something different. She glanced at Miguel, now whimpering softly in his bassinet, his tiny face red from crying. What choice did she have? Venmo is Maria 2001. But really, I'll pay you back Friday. Before she could overthink it further, her phone chimed. Payment received, $500. Maria's hands went numb. She refreshed the screen 3 times, certain it was an error. $500. From James or Morrison. Her message came out in a panicked rush. "This is too much. You sent $500. I only asked for $50. I know what you asked for. Consider the extra for diapers, bills, whatever you need. No strings attached." Maria began to cry again, but this time from overwhelming gratitude mixed with disbelief. Who was this person? She tried to look up his Venmo profile, but it was private. "I don't know what to say. Why would you do this?" "Because someone did it for me once, when I needed it most. Pay it forward when you can." She was crafting a reply when she heard a car door slam outside. Living in this neighborhood, unusual sounds at midnight triggered immediate anxiety. She peeked through the blinds and froze. A sleek black Mercedes sat under the streetlight, and a tall man in an expensive-looking coat was approaching her building, carrying what appeared to be shopping bags. Her phone buzzed. "I hope you don't mind. I'm outside your building. I brought formula and some other things. Apartment 2 Billions, right? Your Venmo location services." Maria's heart hammered. This was insane. This was dangerous. This was... Miguel started crying again, this time harder. She looked at her baby, then at the door, then back at her phone. Every true crime podcast she'd ever listened to screamed at her not to open that door, but something, instinct, desperation, or maybe divine intervention, made her check the peephole. The man standing there looked nothing like a threat. He appeared to be in his early 40s, with kind eyes and a warm smile, holding 2 large shopping bags and shifting awkwardly from foot to foot like he wasn't sure this was a good idea either. She cracked the door open, chain still attached. "James?" she whispered. "Maria?" I'm sorry if this is weird. I just figured if I was going to help, I might as well make sure you had enough formula for more than just tonight. He lifted the bag slightly. I have a daughter. She's 10 now, but I remember those desperate midnight formula runs. I also brought diapers, I guessed on the size, and some groceries. Basic stuff. Maria's voice caught in her throat. I don't understand. Why are you doing this? James's expression softened, and she saw something flicker across his face. Old pain, perhaps, or a memory. 15 years ago, I was sleeping in my car with my pregnant girlfriend. We had nothing. A stranger gave us money for food in a motel room for a week. No questions asked. That act of kindness changed the trajectory of my entire life. It gave me the breathing room I needed to land a job interview that eventually led to my company. Maria started, then stopped, her eyes widening as recognition finally clicked. James R. Morrison. She'd seen his face in business articles at the dentist's office. Tech entrepreneur. Billionaire. Standing at her door with Target bags at midnight. I'm just someone who remembers what it feels like to be desperate, he said simply. Please take these. And the money isn't a loan, it's a gift. Maria unchained the door fully, tears streaming down her face as she accepted the bags. Inside were 6 large containers of formula, boxes of diapers, baby food, wipes, and grocery staples. I can't. This is too much. I'll pay you back, I swear. The only way you can pay me back is by being there for someone else when you're in a position to help. That's how this works. James smiled, already stepping back toward his car. Take care of Miguel. You're doing better than you think you are. As his Mercedes disappeared into the night, Maria sank to the floor surrounded by bags of formula and supplies. Sobbing freely now. She prepared a bottle with shaking hands and fed her son, watching his desperate sucking slow into content satisfaction. That night changed everything. Not because of the money, though that certainly helped her catch up on bills, but because a stranger had seen her humanity in her most vulnerable moment and responded with his own. In a world that felt increasingly cold and disconnected, one accidental text message had proved that kindness still existed in its purest form. Maria kept James's number saved in her phone, and once a month she'd send him a photo of Miguel growing healthy and strong. She never asked for anything else, and he never offered. But she made herself a promise. One day, when she was back on her feet, she'd be someone's midnight miracle too, because that's how humanity survives. Not through grand gestures or systematic solutions, but through one person seeing another person's struggle and simply saying, I can help with that. And sometimes all it takes is one wrong number to remind us that we're not alone in this world after all.